Cael, however you say your name. I am Y. And I suppose that you'll probably be wondering why have I contacted you. Well, I just found out about your video for the Kira case. To prove it to you, I will play it right now.
During his speech, I apologize for having to contact you in such a manner. This is a strange meeting that I've never had to resort to.
Yes, it is a very strange way for us to meet. But since I have seen this, I would like to help. Now, so far with all the information that was given out to the public, with the deaths being related to Death Note, with all those notes saying watashi, however, I'm not able to read Japanese. Plus, the cuts were surgical. That means that this person has access to surgical weapons, which means that this person must be at least of age 21. Also, the dead bodies were at least 30 years old. That means that this person must be almost as old as those people, unless they were on steroids to overpower them. Meaning that our Kira is an adult. Well, that narrows it down to about more than half of the population in the world. But, considering the fact that there are so many people worshipping Kira in Belgium, that means that Kira has followers in Belgium, possibly family members, friends. Which also means that Kira must have been in Belgium before. Also, people have died in Brazil because of Kira, am I not right? This may be a 2-year-old case, but all of this information that was allowed by the police has actually helped me to come up with a new theory. Theory number 1. This Kira of ours is a very intelligent person who knows what to do. That means that they can either travel around the world, which means that they would probably need a passport. Nowadays, you do need a passport just to travel from one country to the next. Or one state to another, probably. Another fact, that this person can refrigerate his targets. That means that he is probably able to drive and leave them at the top of mountains. Which means that we should probably target people who have licenses. That seriously narrows it down to just a few more people. I'm trying to narrow it down, but if I continue, I might be able to narrow it down to possibly less than the human race of number. That means we'll probably have at least 5 million suspects. At least, yeah, the maximum is probably all the adults that have, well, licenses and probably have a PhD in medicine or something. These people must also be experts, or this person must be an expert, at surgical cuts. Another theory is that this person might actually be a retired surgeon or is still a surgeon. So, if you're still looking for the Kira, I would strongly suggest you investigate surgeons and former surgeons or any medical person, even a nurse could be it. Because a nurse who's trying to become a surgeon might just have the skills to do so, advanced or whatever. But I do strongly suggest that you do so, because if you don't and one of them is actually Kira, then, well, yeah, we'll be screwed if you just don't do it. Another thing, this person is probably alone. If you paid attention into the Death Note movie, yes, I know I'm a big Death Note fan, but I paid attention to that movie, and if there were more people involved in this serial killing murder case that were on Kira's side, that means there's a higher possibility for us to catch them. So there is either only one Kira or there are several people helping him. But only very few, so they don't get caught. Because say you have 100 people, one or two of them, maybe half of them could talk. We could probably make them talk by threatening them or so. I'm not trying to break the law or anything here, but I'm just making an example. If we were to torture them, this is hypothetical, so don't start yelling at me for just talking hypothetically. Possibly 20 or 30 of them will tell us who Kira is or what they're doing, and the rest will keep quiet. My guess is that there's only one person, and also they might not talk at all. They'll probably not want to reveal themselves as Kira. So I'd really think that there's only one Kira who can travel around the world and do things like this. Also, let's think about the time period between the deaths. It was pretty long between the first and second death, right? And the third. If there was one. I'm sorry, I just learned about this case, so I'm not entirely sure how many people have died. But I'm sure that there was a long period of time between the first and second death. I know of that because there was one in Belgium, another was in Brazil. There's probably going to be more deaths. So yeah, I suppose that's my theory, but you could probably not listen to this. But thank you for taking the time to listen to my theory and the facts that I've gathered, and probably some facts I probably made up by mistake. But this person is probably only one Kira, and there's no one else involved. And plus, I'd suggest that you investigate Belgium because there might be siblings or friends of Kira. But this is my opinion of whether or not you should investigate surgeons, and yes, even task forces and policemen. Yes, you may now be thinking, this kid's crazy, or, whatever. But this Kira could well be in the law. No one ever suspects the policeman, right? If I'm correct, no one ever really suspects the law to be doing something bad or against the law. Well, policemen and detectives have to break the law to keep it, right? I'm sorry if this is offending, but this is very true, and I do strongly suggest that you investigate the policemen, Belgium, and, well, any mafias or organizations. And hospitals and surgeons as well. But that could take a while, but, I think it might be worth it, because if we could find Kira in one of those groups, and I'm certain that Kira might just be in one of those groups, then I'm certain we could solve this case quite easily if we consider these possibilities. Thank you for listening to this. This has been Y with his information and theories.